Just to follow up after GASA Media's great town hall meeting that took place on the 16th of August 2022, Mr. Ernest Kumba, occupying the office as director among three speakers, presented on the history of GASA Media. After his appointment as Secretary General of the 9th batch of GBHS Fontem in the year 2019, Mr. Ernest devised a means to update members about their activities through the means of writing, thus the birth of the monthly newsletter concept.
It was around August or July of 2019 when I was elected as the Secretary General of the 9th batch of GBHS Fontem. So at that time, I began to look for a way that I could communicate to the organization, because it was the last organization with over about 130 people at that time scattered all over the world. I said, rather than just taking minutes at the end of the month, then bringing them and come and read them where people will be sleeping. But by the way, I hope nobody will sleep here today. Let me look for a means where I could easily entertain and maybe update the activity of the organization, maybe on weekly or on daily basis. So I devised this idea that let me create a newsletter page so that I will gather story. People will post pictures elsewhere when they were socializing. There was a funeral somewhere, there's a birthday party, so that we could write more story, so that at the end of the month, we will just release them. That will summarize all the activity of the organization.
With appraisals gotten as a result of the brilliant idea, alongside some limitations and drawbacks, all amounted to the creation of a YouTube and Facebook channel alongside a studio that accommodated some volunteer reporters.
2022, I think somebody hired us to go cover a funeral, compensated us. So we did not have somebody to go do that because it was a weekday. Then everybody was busy. There was nobody to do that. Then at that time, Laura Asomayi, I contacted her through Michael, who is here, who led us in prayer. So she stepped in, and that was our first, I would call it professional journalists who have gone to school, spent 3 years at the university and graduated. Then she was, I spoke to her, she accepted to volunteer. But the issue was, where will she report? For the past, people have been reported from their houses. I said, this is still a child living with a parent. The other people, she might not even have control over the house if there's noise coming from the kitchen or the baby is crying or something like that. So it was a challenge. I spoke to Gidet and Julius. They said, we don't know what to do. I said, no, let's figure out something. Then we begin to look around. We're looking for a small office or a studio. That is not in public road, or will just be somewhere where it will be noise free. So we finally got a place somewhere in Monya, where it was in the quiet neighborhood. I said, yeah, we can manage this. So that is how we came about. And our office now is located in that area, make of the newsroom, the showroom, and the conference room. So all this room has specific role. So at that time now, other students now begin to come in, where you have Chris who will be presenting to us today, and the people that you see their face every time.
On to GASA Media's operation and guidelines, Mr. Ernest highlights its non-profit making nature that focuses more on community activities, all in a bid to give everyone an equal chance to say his or her own story.
Yeah, let me just briefly explain to you the operation of GASA Media. It's a non-profit grassroots media registered in the state of West Virginia. We are still trying to acquire the 301c3 status or 501c status. That is a tax exemption. We just recently filed with the IRS. We have not had a response, but we think that is in the process. Our main objective is to focus on local community or rural community, and that's how we do not discuss so much analyze politics. We want to give the opportunity for those that have not had the chance to even be on the camera, that then they tell their own story. I think somebody probably would dwell more on that. Actually, presently we have 5 board members and our consultant. So yeah, we are very small, but we want to do a little bit more, and that's why we'll be having this conversation today, so that we hope that by the end of today's conversation, we'll have the opportunity of how understand the role of the media and what we can do better in order to extend coverage in those areas.
With a self-sponsored drive alongside some external support, GASA Media has been able to withstand all odds right at the face of some challenges, as recounted.
GASA Media, for the most part, has been self-sponsored with assistance for some few members from the community. Somebody like Julius has been very instrumental. Gillette, again, even though she did not offer finances, but the manwork, we call it human capital, without which you may have the money, but if there's nobody to actually do the physical activity, it will just means nothing. So for our expenditure, we spend approximately about $500 a month to run the small office that we have in Boya. And sometimes it's just barely enough to cover maybe a taxi fare for somebody to go take, maybe gather some news content. So so we face that challenges of maybe in terms of resources to transport to go and cover event.
Notwithstanding, GASA Media looks towards a brighter future as Mr. Ernest talked about media coverage in all villages in Lebialem, alongside other structures to be planted and a powerful website.
Looking at the future of GASA Media, we want to extend our coverage to almost all villages from Lebialem. I'm very proud from where I'm coming from, Lebang in Lebialem. I just wish the little office that we have in Boya was somewhere in Menji, but that is not the case. I mean, at some time we cover the depleted structure in the wall at Anya. I mean, people were happy to see those images, but there were some mixed feelings because of the way that the village has grown into the forest or into the bushes due to the current crisis that we all know. I mean, this is a thing that we would have loved to do that in every single village in the area where we can extend. Then one of the things that we want to do in the future is to develop a website so that we can also continue to document our newspaper on that page. I mean, all of us know the importance of newspaper. I think Prof would explain that all in the US we know about the New York Times, the Washington Post, how powerful those things are.
On a closing note, GASA Media's director called on the audience to pay more attention to sharing content and also a call for partnership with small businesses.
Yeah, I want to plead to you guys or to everybody sitting here that you can become a sponsor, you can become a partnership with us. So the first thing we're asking for you to do is share our content. If Lokudo USA have a project in the village that will have covered some of those projects, it is left for Lebang people, for example, to share those content to a wider audience. It is not just for GASA Media. That is how your own place become known. Today we hear of Disney World in America, we hear of Cedar Point in Ohio. So all of these places become famous, not because of something, it's just because the way they brand it and put it on the media and they encourage ecotourism. We can do that. We also ask that those that have businesses can partner with us. We are talking of businesses like if you have a school, clinic, hospital, even a shop, you can partner with, or we can do promotion for a small token. And then that will be a win-win so that we'll keep our office running. So our service is all available, our doors are open. I cannot leave this place without acknowledging these two. There are actually three individuals or three small businesses, Quick Recovery Construction, which is located in Limbe Road, Motengene. They have a construction shop where they provide building material. So if you're doing construction around Boya, around that, then I encourage you to use their services or to use their product. And it's that way you can also promote them as well, so that they can in turn promote us as they have been doing. I also want to give a shout out to Extended State Party hall located in my 18 Boya. They have a hall that can more than I think 500 people. If you have a wedding or anything, you can always use their services as well. Again, I want to thank you for coming. Sorry for taking so much time, but I hope we'll have a useful conversation as the evening goes by. Thank you.
Indeed, knowing how far you have come is a huge step towards success. Chris Coffee for GASA Media had you for this report.